Hello and welcome to Pete's Cooking Show 5. In this cooking show we are going to be serving guests. Now basically, these guests want me to cook them whatever I want because they want signature or best dishes from me. So they're going to let me choose the dishes basically. So then they can rate those dishes and tell me what they think after they've ate them. So this is the second guest. Obviously you just got to decide. Obviously they don't pick anything. You pick what you want to cook for them basically. So I am going to go for the easier dishes. Now the easier dishes will be 0, 1 and 2. And 3 and 4 will be the more challenging dishes that take a lot more work and effort to cook. So we'll just go through each guest until we've covered all of them. I believe there's another 2 left. The lady with the Santa Claus hat on. I know Christmas is over, but you know, some parts of Christmas can always be all year round if you want them to be. You know, I think it tells you whether they're grilled or whether they're Christmas themed. You can actually cook Christmas dinners on this as well.
Greetings, fellow chef.
Yep, I had a nice greeting from the guest. Right, what am I going to cook for you? You see, burgers are good, but you have to have them on those wooden pointy sticks so that they're balanced and they don't fall otherwise. Just like the previous times I've used Cooking Simulator, I've had a falling apart burger. But look, these are the guests, and now I'm about to enter the kitchen to do the food. This is what the kitchen looks like. Very Christmassy, very beautiful. Let's cook. We have all the food dishes that I've chose for the guests, and below me is just the hot plate where when meals get placed on here, they will not cool down, so I can focus on making the next meal. So we need ham, garlic dried. So we'll just put this on the workstation as well. Need bay leaf dried. Put that on the ham as well. Allspice powder. Put in on the ham as well. My favourite, black pepper. We are going to put this on the ham as well. We need honey. Now, have you ever had honey on ham and then it's been roasted or cooked some way? This is going to be so delicious. So I'm going to put the honey on the ham. White wine is going on the ham next. I've never heard of white wine being poured onto ham, but I can just imagine how delicious that would be alongside the honey. Right, it will just show you the ham and everything that's been put on the ham to give it that seasonal touch, brilliant taste, which makes the ham way more delicious. Right, the ham goes on the baking tray and then it goes into the oven, which is like a baking oven. Right, now we are just going to wait for the ham to cook in the baking oven, right? As you know, the texture of this ham, I can only just imagine how brilliant it's going to look. To think the taste is going to be marvellous with all the seasoning, honey and white wine that we've just applied to the ham. This is going to make a great meal for the guest because we want to impress these guests, remember, they've travelled a very long way. So we want to make sure that whatever dishes I chose to cook for them turn out to be the best ever dishes anyone could ever eat. Now it's been done, smoky oven, fully seasoned, lovely textured. Wow. A big plate would be good for the dinners. This looks like something that you would buy from a bakery shop with icing on it, you know. It looks like one of those icing pastry cakes, doesn't it? But it's actually ham with the seasoning on it. Now we're going to put this on a hot plate for now to keep it hot for now. Whilst we just sort out what we need. We need that glove spicing on there. The clove, I think it's called. Yeah, cloves ground, that's it. I'm just following the recipe on the screen as well, so we can do it from here and it will stay hot the whole time. So the ham is going to be cut into several fractions basically, so that it can be laid out nicely on the plate, and then the guest will be able to easily eat the ham. Now, we're going to call that behind us the hot plate where we keep the food warm. We now put the ham, the sliced ham, on the plate. Now on Cooking Simulator there is an advanced control feature where you can choose which part of the plate where the food actually lands, and you can rotate it on either side A or B, so it gives you just as much amount of control over the food as you would have in real life. So you're not just putting it on the middle of the plate. We at the moment have got a full plate of ham. Looks like something that you would see at a spread, at some kind of party or event. But this beauty is going to turn into an amazing dinner for one of the guests. We need oranges. We need to cut the oranges because obviously this is going to be also part of the amazing dish. You know all that seasoning we put on the ham earlier on when we cooked it? Well, apparently the oranges are going to be sharing the same plate as the ham. Now this dish must really taste really nice when you think about it. The guests are going to love it. I would probably love something like this as well. And it's obviously something different and original for a dish. So the oranges will now join the ham on the plate. Rosemary twig we put on the ham to give it that last finish touch to this dish. Now I'm going to serve one of the other meals for the next guest whilst keeping that first meal on the hot plate to keep it hot so we can take our time with meal number 2. We need pork chops for the next meal. Salt. And we'll put that on the pork chops. Black pepper is next on the pork chops. I think thyme dried or something like that is another spice that we need to add to the recipe. We need a frying pan. Sunflower oil. Pour as much as we need of the sunflower oil in the pan so we can start the main cooking process of the pork chops. So now we are about to cook the pork chops. So I'm just getting everything ready now. I do have clean hands, by the way, whilst picking up this piece of meat. So now we're going to just start the cooking process. And if side A was cooked, what about side B? Yeah, let's do B as well. Now I've got some heat resistant mittens on, so this will not burn me, but also they're clean mittens, so no bacteria will get to the food. So the food is still at its best quality, but I don't need any tools to pick up the meat. I can do this by hand, protected. Now I need potato. Another potato. Right, now I'm going to cut the potatoes into small pieces, whether they're scallops or chips, which will add to the seasoned pork chops, the extra part of the amazing dinner. Right, now the potatoes are going to go on the baking tray, and we are going to bake these potatoes and then get them with that lovely texture that they usually have, which makes it so appetizing and you just want to eat them all up. That's how delicious they end up being. Right, now the potatoes are starting their amazing, delicious baking process. Now, these dishes I've selected for the guests, which was totally my choice. I've picked the easier ones. I could have picked the more challenging ones, but it could have taken me like longer than 3 hours to work out how to make them. So knowing me, I just go for the easiest ones. You see what I mean? Doesn't that texture look amazing? Now we are putting the potatoes onto the plate with the pork chops. Now, towards the left you can see the first meal, and in front of us, in the centre, we can see the current meal. These meals are going to be, out of my own personal choice, going to the guests. And I have to tell you, I would eat both of these meals. They do look like my type of food. But yeah, let's continue with the amazing potatoes. We need onion on the chopping board. On Cooking Simulator, the onion is already peeled when we get it out of the storage cupboard. So all we've got to focus on is chopping the onion. So no tears, please. Wine vinegar we need. I've never heard of that before, but sounds alright. So we're going to put that in the frying pan. Tomato ketchup. We also need sunflower oil, which will add to the frying, cooking process. We need sugar. And also some chili flakes. Need some gummy powder as well, which is another spice for the dish. Black pepper. Some salt. Now I'm going to fry the onions. So off the chopping board into the frying pan. And this is going to be the next part of the dish. Okay, now the onions have been placed into the pan, we are now going to turn on the electric cooker and we're just going to fry them, and then we will come back when it is ready. Just going to get some pork ribs. Right, I'm going to start off by seasoning the pork ribs with some salt. Now, I have salt on literally every meal that I have. So we are just going to put that on there. Some black pepper next for the pork ribs. Now the pork ribs goes into the baking oven. Just gotta get it into the white shelf area. I know it takes a bit of getting it right, but once it's in, we can start the cooking process. Right, the pork ribs have now been cooked. We're just going to get them out the baking oven. And yeah, you see the texture. We can use our heat resistant mittens, making it easy to take from A to B. Look at that. So I just remembered I got to cut the pork ribs into slices so that when this goes on the plate, it will be arranged into a nice positioning, so the guest eating the meat will find it easier. Right, I am now going to put the pork ribs on the plate. Now they're nicely in slices so that I can freely move around and place them where I want them to be. They're going to be lined up and scattered, but that's okay. Now with the pork ribs goes the fried onions. We are just going to put them on the plate. I love this free moving feature on the cooking simulator. So all we're going to do is just place the food where it needs to be. Now guests will not start eating until all the plates are in front of the guests, and then they will start eating. Until then, they will just wait at the table and talk amongst themselves. Now the mixture left over in the pan, we are just going to pour over the contents of the dish, just to add that extra touch of flavour and appetizingness to the meal. The guest's going to love this, by the way. So I'll just pour it very carefully. It doesn't show much, but it is there. Right, our last meal is sweet and smoky salmon. Now, these are the ingredients. This is the beautiful kitchen we're going to cook it in. Okay, I need a salmon fillet. Need to season it with some black pepper. Some white pepper for the salmon fillet. Next we are going to put some salt on there as well. So much as we need. Smoked pepper powder we need next. So we're just going to put some of this on to really add that blend of flavour onto this dish, onto the salmon piece. Okay, some lime juice is next. This is going to coat the salmon to really give it the texture, the taste, the flavour on the meat. Some olive oil is next. That, and we'll also pour that on the salmon as well. Texture of this salmon is looking so amazing. So let's put it on the open grill, cook it on both sides, and it's really going to lock in that flavour based on the texture and what we've added to it. This is really going to make the guests happy who I've ordered this for. Definitely bring it on. So turning the salmon around, we also see the other side. Texture once again is amazing. Salmon on chopping board, plate out, plate on hot plate. Salmon is now looking its best. Salmon on plate. Coming into our food storage, we need some lemon, so we'll just get one lemon for now. Lemons are delicious, by the way. I've been having them in a honey drink in real life. But we're going to cut the lemon up into, we're going to try to do quarters for this lemon. Parsley leaves fresh we need. We're going to place that on the coated salmon. Now the lemon slices that we got on the chopping board, we're just going to now add that to the salmon dish with the parsley leaf. And this, with the salmon, is going to make a nice lemon salmon coated dish for the guest, and they are going to absolutely love this. Trust me, I believe they are. So with all the dishes complete, and they're all on the hot plate, so they haven't lost temperature, I think now the guests are ready to receive their meals. Looking forward to this now, to see what the guests make of the dishes. Oh, thank you, I was starving. Yeah, well, I'm just going to place your dish. Gotta make sure that I don't drop the plate, obviously. Spent ages over a hot stove in there, so I want them. Oh, you know what? I've just literally threw it to them, but luckily it stayed on. So the second meal is going to you, but I just need to get to the other side of the table. I know it's still showing the amazing meals, and then you've got the cookies for afters as well. And I shouldn't really be tossing the plates to you, but as long as it lands in front of you. Just aiming. Here we are. Sorry if it does that, tosses, but at least you got your meal. Next one is going to be for you.
Thank you, kind sir.
No problem. Who's next? Who's next on the list? Oh, it's me. It's me. Oh, good. It's you. Well, enjoy your meal. I hope you like what I've served you, because you know it took me ages to do all this, and I know, and I did slave over the hot stove, you know. Oh, thank you. Good. Yeah, I was working hard over the hot stove, and you see, they eat the meals just like real life. And now the results from each and every guest, and obviously the scores and the points and everything. And that's basically it. The guests are happy, I'm happy.